Dear younger Tori, you are going to be okay.
Dear Abby, hi, it's me, your future self.
There will be some really, really hard times up ahead. I say that not to stress you out, but just to let you know, you will always come out on the other end better.
I didn't think this would make me cry. And I'm sorry for not being strong enough for us to know how much we were worth.
I wish I could just give you a hug and let you know that I love you. Because it took too long to start loving myself. You're amazing, you're strong.
You have value, meaning, and purpose.
I know the desire in your heart to leave this earth, but you have to keep waking up because you're going to really help some people someday.
It took a lot to get here. A lot of hard work and determination, surrender, a lot of heartbreak, prayers that weren't answered how you wanted, and prayers answered better than you could have ever imagined.
Hey godly girls
and guys,
this podcast is for God, from us, and to you.
You're listening to XOXO Godly Girls. We're just two best friends who like to talk and love Jesus.
Tune in every Friday for new episodes wherever you stream podcasts.
We're excited to grow with you in this faith journey.
Are you ready?
Hi everybody, welcome back to the podcast. My name's Abby.
My name is Tori.
And you're wondering why we're alone today? That's a little weird. I know. It's kind of freaking us out too.
It's been months because from their point of view, we had Colton, we had our moms, and then we were live.
Yeah.
It's been months since it's just been us talking in a room.
We missed you guys. We're just
back.
Us.
I hope we're enough for you. Holy Spirit's here.
He is.
So.
Holy Spirit's sitting literally right here.
Here we are back.
Today we wrote some letters. These letters are important. The letters we wrote were to our younger selves. We're going to do like a little series, so I won't spoil the next two.
Next 2 weeks. Yeah, you guys are just going to have to guess. So if this is the past, what would the next two be? I don't know.
You'll just have to find out. But we wrote some letters. I don't know if you want to start off with that today?
Yeah, I think that would be good to start with. So do you want to read yours first?
I think we should rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, you're right. That's how we come to all our life-altering decisions.
Best 2 out of 3 or just first one?
Best 2 out of 3.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, good thing.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh! Wait, does that mean you go first because you win? Or you go second?
I think I go second because I won.
Because you don't want to go first? It's your choice. You won.
It doesn't matter.
All of that for it to not matter.
I shall go first.
You go first.
I was really actually nervous last night I wrote this letter last night because my brain wasn't functioning the rest of the day this week to write it. And so I wrote it last night and then I made Colton read it. And the whole time I told you he was like focus face, like almost looking angry at it, but it's just his focus face, and I was sitting there like tapping my foot like, is it good, and then afterwards he was like, that was so beautiful, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
The stress.
It was a stressful moment, but it's titled Note to Younger Self. I don't even know how to sit. This is making me a little nervous.
You got this.
I didn't think I was this nervous. Okay. Dear Abby, hi, it's me, your future self. You're probably wondering why I wrote this letter to you because we don't like writing. I'll explain as we go. But first, let me catch you up to date. Wow, what a journey this life has been so far. We now co-host a podcast with Tori. Crazy, I know. It's called XOXO Godly Girls, and it's one of our favorite things to do weekly. You're married to the love of your life, Colton. Spoiler alert, you met at Lowe's. You've graduated college and have blessings of jobs, mostly as a result of you hate saying no, but you love each of them. And you lead a small group of girls who are the joy of your life. I didn't think this would make me cry. Oh, next paragraph, please. But it took a lot to get here. A lot of hard work and determination, surrender, a lot of heartbreak, prayers that weren't answered how you wanted, and prayers answered better than you could have ever imagined. I won't spoil all the details, but I wanted to warn you and say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not... That's the end. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry for not sticking to our standard of never falling into sexual temptation before marriage. And I'm sorry for not being strong enough for us to know how much we were worth. A moment for the people in the back. Quit crying back there. If I had to prepare you for a better outcome, I would say make and keep Jesus as your best friend. I would also say to keep your heart guarded. Not everyone has your best interests, but trust the ones that do. Don't be afraid to be bold, and you don't have to hold back just because you're scared of the opinions of others. You have value, meaning, and purpose. This is the good stuff now. It's okay. Okay. Your past doesn't define you, even though you've grown up as the, quote, perfect Christian girl, doesn't mean that you never mess up. Everyone has a past, and for me, that's you. You've done things that we will later regret, but the beauty is that Christ has covered past sin, and we get to live in his freedom. I want to finish by saying I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not giving up and pursuing goals that seemed unreachable. I'm proud of you for not allowing your past to define you, but to be a testimony used for Jesus. I'm proud of you for being exactly who you are. Although I tried to prepare you for a better outcome, I wouldn't change a thing, because you wouldn't be where you are today with the past prepping you for the now. Period. XOXO, your future self.
That was so good. That was just so good. Like, I don't even want to move on to me. I just want to, like...
Let's read yours, then we can dissect them. Dissect them like a little... Did you ever have to dissect things in science
A frog, and it smelled so bad. That's all I remember is the smell. It was, like, not good.
I'm pretty sure we dissected an owl poop.
Owl poop?
Yeah, it's like... Because I don't think owls, like, actually poop out the butt. I think they poop out the mouth. And so they were like, we're dissecting this. And I was like, okay. I feel like that might have been a dream.
All of that sounds crazy.
Dear past self, don't dissect owl poop.
I wasn't in that class. Oh, that's funny. Dear younger Tori, you are going to be okay. I promise. There's a lot ahead for you, good and bad. And I don't want to spend this whole letter telling you what to expect, because you'll get there. And I know that's all you want to know, because you're always so worried about the future. But you'll arrive in time. Just trust me. Actually, no, trust God. He'll get you there. Also, you didn't peak in high school. It gets better. And also worse, there will be some really, really hard times up ahead. I say that not to stress you out, but just to let you know, you will always come out on the other end better, no matter what life throws your way. You choose not only to see the good in it, but to see God in it. I wish I could just give you a hug and let you know that I love you. Because it took too long to start loving myself. You're amazing, you're strong, you're beautiful, and you always will be no matter how much acne you get. And you become very kind. Some would say too kind. And I know that's hard for you to believe because you put up a front and you have a lot of attitude right now, but your heart becomes softer. You're able to let go of all the hurt you're feeling right now and not be so angry at the world. You're also okay with being alone. You actually love it. You bought the cutest house all by yourself and 2 dogs that you love more than anything ever. And you really love your mom. So be kind to her. You don't see it right now, but she's doing such a good job and she wants what's best for you. And there's this girl who follows you around in middle school while you're trying to follow the crowd. But forget the crowd, because she will become your lifelong friend. Invite her to hang out and have sleepovers. I know you're weird about letting people too close, but this one is safe, I promise. Don't wait until high school to hang out. It's not necessary. I don't want to tell you to do anything else differently because you turn out okay. You will make mistakes, and I want to prevent you from them, but I know that I can't because I know you. I am you. You will be curious, slightly rebellious, and definitely confused, but you fear disappointing those who you love. Just learn to love yourself more because you don't care about disappointing you right now. But I do now. And it breaks my heart that you don't know what you're worth. Because you are worth so much that the cost for your life was the Son of God, Jesus. So always cling to him. You will be tempted to run the other way, but don't. You will be tempted to take life into your own hands. Don't. You will want to take your own life, but don't. Always go one more day, because your life is worth it, Tori. There are some great memories to be made, so don't rob yourself of that, and don't rob the ones who you love of that. I know that voice in the back of your mind that says you don't have purpose. I know the desire in your heart to leave this earth, but you have to keep waking up because you're going to really help some people someday. As I said in the beginning, you're going to be okay. I promise. I love you, and so does God. Like, he really, really loves you, and one day you're going to feel it. Whew. Bro!
Why were you so emotional?
Well,
I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't either.
No, that was good. That was really good.
Thanks. Like, if you're listening to that right now, I encourage you to do that. Like, write a note to your younger self, because that's nothing I think I would have said, oh yeah, if I could go back, I'd give myself this advice, or I'd say this if someone ever asked, but I never had to sit and think, like, if I had one shot and I could, like, give this to myself at a certain age, what would I want to say, and what do I feel like is important? So I encourage you to do that, because obviously, as you can see, that was emotional.
It was.
Yeah.
I think you should also, I think we wrote them on our phones because we knew we'd be reading them, but I think it would be cool to write them, like, down and then save them for, like, 10 years down the road and then be able to read them again. But, yeah.
When you wrote it, was there a version of yourself you were imagining, like, writing it to, a certain age, or?
I honestly, like, I didn't go into great detail, but I think I went, like, from my younger self to, like, high school self, and then, like, my childhood, because I've told you before, like, my childhood, I've always thought, like, oh, I have such a great life, like, nothing really bad is happening, and in that moment, I knew that I needed to guard myself for my future, and so I think that was one of the main things that I said in here, is that, like, prepare yourself, stay on guard for what is to come, because life is going to hit you like a truck, but if you're not ready, it's going to drag you down. So I think that's where a lot of that stemmed from. And then, I mean, I had standards for myself as well, as I said, but since I wasn't on guard and I got to those moments, my standards just went away, and I didn't value myself the way that I thought that I could, because I wasn't really guarded in that way. So I think that's a lot of where mine came from. What about you?
This is so specific for me, which is why I asked, because I didn't know if it was like, but I picture myself at like 7 years old. And because that was around the time that I gave my life to Christ, and I was just very confused, like, because I was going through things at that time, and I just didn't understand, and I didn't understand God, and I was like trying to seem I was someone who I wasn't, and then I had all the years up ahead, and it all kind of stemmed from the things of my childhood. So I think just letting myself, that's why I just kept saying, like, you're gonna be okay, because I didn't feel okay at that time, like literally at 7 years old, and I had no clue everything that was gonna happen up ahead. But I just wish I could go back, like, to that age and tell myself that truth, because I didn't know it, and it led to a lot of decisions later, because I thought that my past was already too much when I was only 7 years old, and I wish that I had known that wasn't true. Yeah. Because that, I don't know, I feel like that was just a defining age for me, that I gave my life to Christ, but I didn't give my life to him. I said I became a Christian, but I don't know that I did.
Yeah. It's crazy that you remember that. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was a point in my life, I feel like I was like 10 years old, and this sounds crazy, but I feel like there was just something in my brain that clicked, and then I just, like, started remembering life. And, like, before that, like, people will tell me stories, or, like, I told you the other day, I pulled up these videos that were just from when I was younger, and I have no recollection of, like, any of that, and it's just the weirdest thing to me to think that, like, and I wonder if it's literally because, like, in that moment I started following Jesus and started seeing things a little differently. I really don't know what it was. Like, I remember vague things, but I don't remember a lot from, like, before that moment, if that makes sense, which is just really strange to me.
Isn't that interesting? You shared that with me before, and I think that's kind of cool, because I don't know that it was a moment that, like, I don't remember things, but it was kind of similar to me that I guess nothing else really had meaning or purpose to my life until, like, I started to understand Jesus, which was around the age of 7. And there's, I don't want to misquote this, but there was like a part in the Bible where the Greek word or something was similar to that of Matrix. Have you ever seen the movie Matrix? Well, this guy is basically, the world has completely fallen apart and it's destroyed, but these people don't know it because they're living inside of, like, an alternate universe. It's a dream, but their actual bodies are asleep. And then one of the guys wakes up. So he's not in this, like, pretend world anymore. He sees it like, oh, man, the world is actually gone. My whole life is a lie type thing. And so when I heard that was in the Bible, I'm like, that's exactly how I felt with Christianity. Like, the moment that, because not at 7 I accepted Christ, but I'd say around my teenage years is when I started to grasp him. And I just felt like, man, I just woke up. Well, car wreck. I just woke up. My whole life feels like a lie. And now I'm understanding the purpose behind things. Now I'm seeing things the way that they actually are, not the distortion that the world was, or even in the innocence and happiness of a childhood. It's like you grow up and then you're like, man, I see life now.
Yeah, everything just clicks.
Everything
and it's like
just clicks.
So weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think I have moments like that, like, throughout life of, like, this is reality. This is not just a dream or, like, something that is made up. Like, this is actually my life, whether it's good things or bad things. But I think it's just moments of reflection that I'm just like, and this was a good one. Writing our notes to our younger self was a good moment of reflection of, like, how far you've come. I think, and I think that is important if you're listening and you're like, oh, that sounds silly. Like, actually do it and see where you've come from, or how you can better prepare yourself for the future, because, like I said, there are going to be things that come up that are hard and scary, and you just have to be on guard for those things to come. You can't stop them from coming, but you can prepare your heart for it.
I think it's important to also talk to your younger self, and I think of that, like, age, or maybe not that age, because there was a home video that my mom found very recently, and we were watching it, and I just started crying, 'cause, like, not when I was with her, but after I did, just because I don't remember this moment either. It was just an insignificant, like, it's a home video, and we're just talking and laughing. But I see myself as, like, a little girl, as a child, and I realized at that time I'm around probably 4 or 5 years old, which was around the age that I was introduced to sexual things. And so I saw that, and I saw myself as, like, a baby, and I was so, I wish I could just go back and stop that from happening. Like, I didn't realize I was so little. That was so fragile because I was doing such adult things. Like, I didn't feel like I was ever that. And I just felt so bad because I've spent so long being mad at her for not knowing better, for not saying no or telling an adult, or for continuing that on with other children. Like, I'd be so mean to her in my mind, just like, man, I was so stupid. Why didn't I just say anything? Why didn't I just do anything? And then I saw that and I was like, oh, I was a baby. Yeah. So then when I was writing, like, that's why I'm picturing, I guess, that version of myself. Because I saw a video of that and I was like, yeah. I just wish I had known, but I didn't. And I wish I could, like, go back and tell myself, it's okay. Like, you didn't know any better. And I'm still proud of you. Like, you're a good person. You're not a bad person. You're just confused, and you're a kid, and you didn't choose that. Yeah.
Do you think it's really hard to go back in those moments? Do you think it's important to go back and, like, remember them and heal from them? Or do you think that it's important to just, like, shut them out and, like, just never think about them again?
I think it's important to go back, because for a long time I didn't. I ran from it because I was embarrassed that I didn't know better. I didn't think of myself as the little, like, innocent version of me. And I didn't want to tell anyone because I thought they would, like, shame me or be disappointed in me. And I didn't want to think about it because it just made me feel, like, bad about myself. So I just ran from it. But in running from it, it resurfaced. in another relationship. Like, the issues from my childhood started to come back, and I didn't know where this was coming from. I didn't know where it was stemming from. I do now. Like, I can look back and I can see that now. But in the moment I didn't, and I kept running from it, and I was following those same patterns of like secrecy. Like, every relationship, every person I talked to was such a secret, was so hidden, was so kind of lust-centered and empty, it felt like. And it's because I conditioned my brain to think this is what intimacy is from that age, from the age of 4. Like, don't tell anyone. And it's okay as long as they don't know. Yeah, so I think you have to go back unless you want to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. Mm-hmm.
I think that's important. It's important also to realize, like, what your triggers are. And, like, in future relationships, you have to remember, like, oh, these things make me feel gross. Or, like, these things just, like, set me off in a weird mood. And, like, if you wouldn't have looked back in the past and, like, going into a future relationship, I think it's going to be, like, a very hard conversation with yourself and that other person, you know, because you're like, where is this stemming from? And then you have to go back, and then it's, like, so much harder whenever you're so much older. Like, I think it's important to remember where you came from and remember that it's okay. You're free, forgiven, and redeemed, but also, like, know where the root of these hard things come from. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And I think, yeah, it can feel gross and scary, but also it feels comfortable because that's what you're familiar with. And so, like, there was a guy one time who my friends tried to set me up with, and he actually seemed like a good guy, and it, like, freaked me out almost, and I ran the other way. And not that the guys that I talked to were just completely horrible guys, but it was, like, I was comfortable with don't make things public. And yes, not everyone needs to know every detail about your relationship, but the person you're with should want to, like, show you off, and it should want to, like, be proud of being with you. It shouldn't be a secret. It should be private. Like, not every detail is known, but that's just what was comfortable. I didn't want anything super public. Yeah. You go to what you know is what you run to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. That's why you see a lot of people repeat patterns of, like, with their family or daddy issues or mommy issues. Like, those are so true, and people kind of joke about it and throw it around like a loose term. But when you've been treated that way and that's what you seek, you're attracted to that, or you become it, unless you recognize that and then you learn how to turn away from it, because so much of the people that we become is shaped in our childhood from the things that we see and experience. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's important to reflect on the fast and furious. It's important to reflect on the past, but not live in the past. I think there's a lot of times we can get so caught up in, like, why me, poor me, like, this is my past. Like, we have to look back, see what happened, learn from it, and we have to move on and keep going. And if we're, like, I was guilty of this. I constantly was living in the past of, like, oh, like, I did this, so it's okay to keep doing it. Or I did this, and poor me that this happened to me. And it was just such a sad life to be living, because that's not the reality. Like, your past happened. You're free. You're forgiven, redeemed. Live in it, you know?
Yeah. And when we talk to our past selves in our notes, we both talk about regrets, but we also talk about, I love you and I'm proud of you, and, like, you're doing good. And I think that that's important too, because, like you said, the past, you don't want to live in it. You don't want to be regretting it all the time, but you can learn so much from it. And the biggest thing that we both said to our past selves was, like, hey, you've come so far, and you're never going to know how far you've come if you don't occasionally look back. Because sometimes, like, where I am presently, I'll be like, man, I just don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I feel like I could be better in, like, all these areas. But it's like, I gotta also look back, because, man, I've come a long way, and I'm proud of myself for getting to where I am. But sometimes I do have to look back for glimpses to be like, this is how far I've come, but not to dwell. Yeah, look back to progress, not to dwell. Yeah. I think I was just going through and like re-editing my book, and I forgot about this, but after my wreck, I was in physical therapy, and my therapist said, how far have you come from when you first came here? And then I started to explain to him, well, like, I want to be able to like walk to here, and I'm saying like, this is how far I want to go. And he said, I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you how far you are from where you want to be. I asked you how far have you come from where you were. And I was like, well, when I came here, I was in a wheelchair with a neck brace and I couldn't move. So I think I've come pretty far. But you can get so fixated sometimes on like where you have to go that you forget, like, man, I've come a long way and I'm proud of myself. And sometimes I get scared to be proud of myself because I don't want to be prideful. But I need to be like, no, like, God, you, all glory to you because you brought me far from where I was. Yeah, I've got a ways to go. Of course, we all always do, but you've brought me a long way.
Okay. I found a little Bible verse for today. It's 1 Corinthians 2:9, and it says, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things that God has prepared for those who love him. I feel like that's referencing like heaven. Like, none of us have seen heaven, and like none of us can imagine what he's prepared for us. But I also think like I put that in our shoes, like me going back to this past self, like I could have never imagined what God has prepared for me. And then now, and I was praying so hard for these things that I thought were good for me, and then it turned out even better than what I could have even imagined, even if it didn't turn out how I wanted. And so I just really liked that verse after looking on the past.
That's great. I need to drink a water.
Drink that water good.
That was really good. But when you were reading that verse, it made me think, so how we don't know all the goodness that God has ahead for us, but we were focused so much on writing the letter to our past self. Imagine, like, let's put ourselves in the shoes of, like, little us hearing all of that. You know what I mean?
Like, wow.
Yeah, like, and not in necessarily all the bad things, but even in the good things. Like, I never would have thought all the things that God had prepared for us. Like, you wrote in yours, you have a podcast with your best friend. What would you have thought as a little Abby?
I would have said, what's
that?
a podcast? Who's that?
But it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's no way to prepare ourselves for what has to come in the future, but that's the beauty of it. We get to experience life and go through it. Did you have any notes? Just hiccups.
Yeah. I forgot about this. So I had kind of said how a significant portion of who a person becomes in adulthood is shaped by their childhood experiences. And then I had a couple of like words, and we can pause and think on this, but it's not just in the things that happen to you or that you do, but in the things that people say to you that can shape the way that you believe and that you feel about yourself. And so I know a lot of my insecurities or my feelings of not good enough, like we had talked about, were rooted from, I can think of the actual experience. Like, I can pinpoint certain moments that I'm like, this is where that all stemmed from, because someone somewhere along the line like said this about me and I believed it. Instead of what God said, which is why in my note to myself, I said, like, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are strong, you are smart, and all of those things, because I did not believe that, because people didn't say that. I mean, and maybe they did, but it only takes one person to say something else that can shape how you feel. Mm-hmm. Did you have any experiences like that?
I feel like it's so important what you say to people, and it literally affects them the rest of their life. And there was one time I remember sitting in the cafeteria and this kid called me Bucktooth Abby, and it's because I had my two front teeth were like normal and my other two teeth stuck out, or I don't even know, but like in that moment, like I immediately, like I would never show my teeth when I smiled anymore, and my mom would always be like, why aren't you smiling? And it was just like so sad, but internally I was like, well, I'm Bucktooth Abby, like I don't want to show my teeth, people are gonna make fun of me. And but it was like just a simple joke, and he didn't mean it in that like to ruin like how I smiled the rest of my life, but like it did affect me, and it was like everybody at the table laughed, and then they started like making jokes at other people, and I was just sitting there like, gosh, that's awful. And yeah, and then I got braces, and like I wanted to change my physical because it was like so, I don't know, it just changed my mindset of how I viewed myself. I didn't view myself as beautiful anymore because like this one person said one thing that I was like, gosh, now I got to go change it because that's the reality. Or I had someone tell me like, stop talking, you're not funny. And so after that moment, I started to think like, oh, I don't have value in what I say. I'm not funny, so I'm not going to try to make any jokes, even though I did. Actually, no, that was after. So like, I really didn't like joke for a little while after the cafeteria moment.
Gosh, it's always the freaking cafeteria.
But it's just like the little like little small remarks where you think like, oh, it's just a joke, but like people really internalize those things. And I know I've been guilty of saying things to other people, and I'm sorry if I've ever said anything like that to anyone else, because I never want anyone to think of themselves in a negative manner. I don't know, it's just so sad to think about, but yeah.
I had one similar to that, and I forgot about it literally until you said that, but it was about when I was little. I think everyone has a phase when they're in like second grade where they're just saying, I'm going to cut my hair really short. I don't know what it is, but I did that. And then I remember a few people saying like that I looked way prettier when my hair was long, and like I look like a boy. And so then ever since then I was like, I'm never cutting my hair again. Like
you really don't.
And it's really hard. Even like, and this is so dumb, I try to keep up with trims because I'm like, it looks healthy, but every time I get a trim, that's in the back of my mind is like, it's going to look ugly if my hair is like shorter. Yeah.
That's so sad.
It is sad because it doesn't matter. And short hair is so cute.
It is so cute.
And I look back at little Tori with that short haircut and I'm like, she was so cute. Why did I let people say that to her? But there's that. And then this is the big one for me. When I was little, and I don't even remember this, but it's like, I know that it happened and I was told this. And I think, anyways, I fell down. I'm a big klutz, by the way. Like, it's just a fun fact. But I fell down. I was probably like 2 years old, little bitty. And someone who was supposed to care about me and like protect me, love me, picked me up and was like, "You're so stupid," and yelled at me. And the thing that I'm like the most insecure about is I just feel like I'm going to be stupid, or I'm going to look stupid, or I'm going to say something stupid, or it's just, I don't know. But little things from when I was little, like, it's always the hair, but I'd be called like a dumb blonde just because I have blonde hair. People would say like, oh, like she's a ditz. And so for a while I fed into that. Like in my beginning of my middle school years, I think I dumbed myself down and I acted like a dumb blonde girl because people said that's what I was. But I'm smart. Like I am pretty well spoken, and I didn't give myself credit for those things because I thought that's the stereotype and that's who I am, and so that's how I lived. And it took me until honestly probably getting out of high school to be like, no, I'm not dumb. Sometimes I say stuff that isn't the brightest, and that's really funny, but that doesn't mean that I'm stupid. Like, I'm actually very intelligent. Like, I just wish that I didn't act like I was stupid. It makes me embarrassed. I think back to myself and some of the things that I did to, like, I knew better, but I acted like I didn't just because that was what people labeled me as, and I thought it would make me, like, funny or whatever. I'm like, that's so embarrassing. Like, I'm so embarrassed at myself. That was not me.
I don't even remember that. It's probably why I didn't like you in middle school. She's just a dumb blonde.
She's just a dumb blonde. But I was myself around you. Like, I was. Yeah.
That's so funny. You're not a dumb blonde. You're a smart girl. You was kind. You was smart.
You was funny.
You was funny. Oh, thank you.
You got good teeth.
Oh, that's so sad. I just wish.
It is sad.
And it makes me like sometimes when I'm working in the school, I'll hear like little kids just their little kid banter, and I'm just like, oh, I just want to tell you that you're so beautiful and worth so much. But like as a little kid, it's also like you can say those things to them, but like right after they've been told, like your teeth look bad, or your hair's too short, you look like a boy, and then a teacher's like, oh honey, like
It's like you're just a teacher.
you're just a teacher. It doesn't matter. These are my friends.
Yeah.
But they're not your friends.
But they're not your friends.
It's
Yep.
so sad. But
And it makes me sad because I feel like it's gotten so much worse. So much worse. I hear the way the middle schoolers talk to each other, and it just hurts my heart because I'm like, you're all joking, but behind every joke, people hide a little bit of truth, and other people know that. So it's like you're speaking into someone's insecurity that they might already have, or you're creating a new one. So it just hurts my heart. I'm like, I wish that you just realize the power of your words, because I do now that I'm older, and I can look back and see, wow, that one comment actually shaped part of my identity for a really long time. Yeah.
And I think it's important too,
matters.
like what you say about yourself. Like when you said there's a little bit of truth, I think there's a little bit of truth towards that person, but it's a lot of reflection towards you. Like a lot of times if I'd say something, it was my own insecurity of like when someone had told me to like stop talking, it's not funny. Maybe I said that to someone else because I was like, oh, I'm not funny. Like, oh, that wasn't funny, you know, like just joking wise. But it was more of a reflection of what is in my heart than really what that other person looks like or is saying or doing, you know. So
And your own insecurity
yeah,
that's
so
true.
sad.
It is sad.
Well, give your little selves a hug.
Yeah, give your little selves a hug today. Write a note. Let her know she's loved, or he, for our godly guys listening.
And it's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay. How I started my letter and how I closed it. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
I started mine with I hate writing. Ended it with something sentimental.
No, it was really, really
It was
good. Yeah. All right. I feel like that's it.
I feel like that's all I got, too. So if you're listening today, what can we take away? Write a note to your younger self. Look at your progress. Look at how far you've come. Remember the past, but don't live in it. And
Know your triggers.
know your triggers. Because they will come up again, and know, like, how to react to them appropriately. Maybe that's a podcast for another day. Because
Yeah.
triggers are a big thing,
Yeah.
and they come up quick. And if you don't react in a positive way, you're gonna. That's a whole other podcast.
Whole other podcast.
That's a
Stay
whole other
tuned.
podcast.
Someday we'll get there.
But that's good.
And you can't change the past. You can't. Even if little us received those notes, the future is going to unfold the way that it did. Maybe you're in a different space where you're like, I didn't receive a lot of those hurtful words, but I said them. Because there's also a lot of things I said that, man, I wish I could take back as a little kid. I didn't know the power of my words. And that, like, before I was told I was really kind, before I moved schools, I was labeled as a mean girl. So, like, I wasn't being kind then. And maybe that's what's stuck in your head to your younger self is, I just wish I would have been nicer. I didn't know that what I was saying was going to shape people. I didn't know that it was going to have that effect. Well, just do better now. It's
okay to
it's
apologize.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
Colton, I remember whenever he first became a Christian, he was like, man, I've done some stuff like more recently that I remember, and I know that it affects those people. And he was willing to go and apologize or like text them and just say, hey, I'm sorry. And if that other person doesn't receive it, well, it's okay. You know, like in your heart that you are changed, you're different, and you mean well, and you have apologized, and you have to leave it at that. And don't like dwell in every little moment that like, oh, maybe I said this, maybe I said this. It's okay. Just let it go and move on. And if you can apologize, apologize.
Yeah, that's good. Live, learn, reflect, do better, say sorry. Yeah. And with that being said,
XOXO,
XOXO, godly girls.